Hi traders, I just want to show you an example of a bullish crab pattern that's set up on the 30-minute chart, but I want to show you the higher time frame key area where the pattern actually was formed, or where the completion point formed. This is the euro-dollar daily chart, and what I want to reference here is this area right here. You see this what I call an order block, this last bearish candle before price broke to the upside. So pay close attention to that area right there. You can see it also acted as a bit of resistance and very briefly support, but you can see this area right here, this is where the orders accumulated, and this is where we had price break to the upside. So just move to the 4-hour chart here. If we compress the chart, okay, from the very low up to the very high, if we take our Fibonacci tool and we draw it from this swing up like such, okay, so we've rallied and we started to retrace. Let's zoom this up. So that's the largest swing on the 4-hour chart, and you see this 70.7 area. That's that level, that block on the daily chart. We've also, you can see this area in here, got this this base right here. Okay, you see price broke to the upside and then it gapped on this platform. See here, support, resistance, comes back up, holds a support. Okay, so around that 31 20 26 area is a level that I'm interested in. Now if we move over to the 30-minute chart, I'll show you where the pattern actually set itself up. Okay, now remember, a crab pattern, as with the butterfly, it's an extension or projection pattern. Okay, it's found at extremes, and you're going to be finding them at normally sort of, you know, when the market's really moving quite vigorously in the opposite direction. So it can be quite daunting to try and trade a pattern like this. And here again, I recommend that you go and, you know, back test them on something like some sort of software like this, if your platform can't do it, just to get some sort of experience and some sort of confidence in the pattern. Okay, here again, we want to find a pattern, or the only way I trade the pattern is at higher time frame key levels. Okay, so either we get a rejection at the key level like your Gartley and Bat, or the way I like to trade the butterfly, and in this example the crab pattern, is where the completion point is at our key area. So there's that key area that we identified from the daily and 4-hour chart. Okay, and you can see price has fallen short of the level, as I showed you in the actual pattern example. So if we take our Fibonacci tool again, we draw the fib swing from the low up to the high. Okay, see our price retraces down, okay, and it finds support on that 618 level. Now you could look for a possible Gartley pattern, but remember, okay, we were looking for those key areas. Now this is not a bad area that we're actually at. If we just go back to the 4-hour chart, I'm going to show you here. You see the 62% retracement with this level. Let's just compress this in here. See this level in here, okay, support and resistance. Then we gapped up, came back, reacted. Now you could look for a bullish pattern at that area. For now, we'll just focus on this other pattern, the crab. Okay, now the crab pattern is basically a failed Gartley. Alright, so you see our price comes down to that 62%, and then it starts to rally. If you draw your Fibonacci tool from this high down to this low, okay, you can see it's come through the 62 a little bit, and then it started to rally. Let me just move it like that. Rally to the minimum 38%. Okay, and what you're looking for now, remember we've got that completion area. You can either look at that 79,127. What is the difference? About 4 pips. Okay, so it is a valid Gartley, but we're looking more down towards this area here. So this is the completion point of the crab pattern, and there's that key area. So remember, the high time frame areas are the actual zones and not specific numbers. Okay, so I'm going to mark off this area here, and as with the butterfly pattern, the closer you can get, you see, if you bring this number right up to that 62 level, you see those numbers basically exactly the same. It's the same with the Gartlian extension. Okay, it's just the way the Fibonacci sequence works. But that's the area that you're interested in. Let me just step this forward a little bit. You can see price breaks down. You see it comes down close to that 79 and bounces a little bit. Okay, now we get the leg down, so we stop to break down. Okay, so had you looked to trade a Gartlian, you can see it would have failed once it takes the lows out. So in this example, we're looking further down at this key area, and I'm looking at this 1618 level. Okay, now with the actual crab pattern, okay, the stop placement can be a bit tricky, because in terms of actual levels, you could use the 2.0 fib level, or you could look at an area of support and resistance further out. So if we just compress, what I want to do here is I'm just going to go to the 4 hour quickly, because obviously you can see there's nothing in terms of areas of support, you know, because obviously when you're in a strong downtrend like this, okay, you want to reference any kind of support resistance levels where you could possibly look at placing your stop, and we really don't have any reference there. You see the completion of the pattern is down here. Okay, so it's sort of just below the 70.7 area. You've got this level down here that's sort of in alignment with the 2.0, or you've got the big 79% retracement. Okay, so you want to just measure that up and see, you know, what your major swings, or where an area of support resistance is where you could possibly reference your stop loss. Okay, because that's always going to be an issue when you're trading these patterns at real extremes like this. And let me just measure this. You see that 79 level, let's just mark this up quickly. 79 level is at 3082. Okay, and we're looking around the 3109 area. So if we put a stop a couple pips below, let's say at that 2.0, a couple pips below that 79, we should be in safe hands if the patterns still work. Let's go back to the 30-minute chart. The nice thing with the crab pattern is when it works, you'll see you really don't need big stops, okay, because it literally will get going very, very quickly. So what I'm going to do here is go to the order tab, new pending order. I'm going to buy limit, okay, and you can see here 3109, 3109, and I'll add the spread, okay, plus a few pips. So let's go in at 12. So 1 pip spread plus a couple more for you know, you want to place your order a few pips above the level in case you get some buy orders coming in, and you know, if you're looking for very specifics in terms of the actual fib number or level, you may just see the trade stall short of a fib level and move in the direction that you wanted. And I'm going to put a stop loss just below this, call it 3080 area. 3080. So we're looking around sort of 32 pips in terms of risk, which is not too bad. Okay, so we put that in there. There again, I'm going to leave the actual take profit out of it for now, because I want to see what happens when price actually hits the area. Okay, so there we basically have the pattern. If we had to label this, this would be X, A, B, C. Completion point is down at D. Okay, so completion point is over here, and if you measure the distance between the 618 and the 2618, it's only well, it's sort of 9 pips. Okay, so it's kind of in the extreme range of the confidence. Remember, you got that key higher time frame area of resistance becoming support. So let's see what happens. See this nice aggressive move down? This is what you're looking for trading these patterns. Okay, you start seeing a gradual move down, like a drift down to the level, be a little bit more cautious. Okay, you see price starting to move down. See the 127 holding a little bit of a bounce. you've got this area right here. That's the point X. Could act as resistance. Let's just follow price down. Right, so see our price, in this instance, it actually comes down and it actually tags just before the level. You see the orders normally stack up just before, at, and then just below the level. Now you may, if you put your order right at the level, you may miss the trade. See a little bounce. You get a bounce up into that resistance area. Okay, a little bounce alone is worth almost 20 pips. Just follow along here. So there's your drive deeper right to the level. Okay, so it's now hit the 1618. So that's the completion point of the actual crab pattern. You could wait for confirmation here in terms of a base and then looking for a smaller time frame pattern to set up. But with a crab pattern, they, as I said before, when they do work, they normally work very, very aggressively, and you'll see the thing tear off, in the opposite direction. So just be wary of that. So we're driving deeper now, searching for more orders. You see how price comes down, taps just below the level, then it taps into the level, and now we're sort of moving below the level. Okay, so we see this area here. We have a base. We need to see price now move back above that area. Let's see, move back. Okay, so we're going to see this level now hold as support. See here, support, resistance, hold of support. Okay, still looking heavy. Let's move this forward a little bit. Just switch over to the other time frames and have a look to see what's happening. There's the hourly chart. Okay, sort of just building a base. It's not doing anything in terms of price hitting the level and starting to rally. Still very heavy. In terms of time of the day, you can see you're starting to get into that Asian session, very quiet time. And we'll just follow this along. So see our price now. Just move this on the hourly chart. You see this little base, brief close above, comes back and retests that little block. Let's follow this along. Now you're starting to get a bit of a release. Okay, you're up about 26 pips. Okay, have a look at the 4-hour chart and then get rid of these fib levels so we can actually see what's going on there. So you see price comes down, it's hit this key area of support and the completion point of the actual crab pattern. You see the base. Just have a look at this area here. We just zoom this up. See this this bearish candle, and then price closes back above that little base there. See the candle comes back and tests this block right here. Okay, that's a good sign, and you want to see price move up. In terms of possible targets, okay, understand that we're in a big downtrend. We've had a real aggressive move down, so price is a bit tired. People taking profits, obviously buyers coming in here around these key levels. So we could get a pop up. Your first sort of key area of resistance on the 4 hours, this level right here. Okay, so when you see price move above that area, you've also got this level right here. You see the base. Okay, that's a level I definitely want to be paying close attention to. So I just want to mark these levels up on the 4 hour, and then we've got this area in here. You see how we have support becoming resistance, back to support. So we move over to the hourly chart. Okay, so see how we're referencing the different time frames to get a good feel for what's going on and what everything looks like. So we've committed above this range. This is nice and bullish. Move over to the 30-minute chart. Okay, so you see how we've rallied, come back, retested, then we've had this base. You see the range comes back, retest that block right there. So once we've released, we've actually committed. We've got quite a bit of support likely, or resistance likely becomes support now. See this level here, this base. So what I want to do, because we're in a big downtrend, and you see this area here, you see this block, come right back up, testing this area of resistance now. I want to move this stop to just have a look here. Here's your stop down here. I'll move this stop up, okay, just below this low, so 3100 now. Modify this. Okay, so we've now modified. We've still got some risk in the trade, only about 12 pips, so it's not majorly heavy in terms of stop loss. So write this area out here, and this area here. You see, I'm just looking at this area here. You see this block, this base, breaks, comes back, retests it. Now price is now testing this area of resistance. So let's just follow price along. You see how price breaks above. Have a look here. Breaks above, comes back and retests the block. So we want to see price try and stay above that level. You can see how it rejected price, comes back. You see it's testing this area of support. So now, while we're managing this trade, we want to see price clear and hold above this level. Still got some risk in the trade, so you can see I'm not overly aggressive in trying to remove some risk. Now that we've started to release, you see the release here? We've actually closed above that level. I just want to show you the hourly chart. And step this forward. Okay, so we're closing on 30-minute, not closing on the hourly. You see this area here? Still problematic area. I want to see price close above. We could start to move some risk out of the trade. In fact, what I'm going to do is just bring the stop up to just below this swing low here, so 31.29. So we'll lock some profit into that trade. 31.29. So we're just below that low. So what we really want to do is we really want to see price move up. Okay, we want to see it build a base and hold. Still breaking down here. Alright, so we've just been taken out on the trade. This area here, we really wanted to see it hold as support. When it came down, let's just spike the lows now, and we've been taken out. You can see a big spike back up, and then there's your retracement back into your next area here. I'll just step this forward. You can see price rallied back up, testing that resistance. Okay, so just understand that overall we're in a big downtrend. Okay, so we don't want to be overly aggressive with this. We understand the market environment, and if we just have a look at our account, look at the trade, see we got taken out for 17 pips. Okay, so it's not overly exciting, but nevertheless that's how I like to manage the position.